serious about my dance moves, homie. Welcome to chess, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know I'm playing, man. Y'all know I dance better than that, homie. Anyways, man, you guys know that we got the Champions Chess Tour final, but this is the semifinal round. And so this is game number 2 from the second set of games that Wesley So and Nodirbek Abdusattorov are playing. So it's real serious, guys, man. Real serious, bro. We're getting towards the end of the tournament, so we seeing who's taking all the marbles home. So, of course, all my people coming from the Philippines, I will say Maraming Salamat. Anybody who is coming from Uzbekistan, I will say Rahmat. But if you guys are ready to go, man, like without any more further ado, let's take a look, see what we got for this game, son. So we got D4. We got the move D5. So we just have, like, you know, not really a copycat, but it's like basically Black is saying, hey, man, I'm trying to do the same thing you trying to do. We got the move C4, and then we have C6. It's the Slav. I know at least one person out there that's going to be like, yes, it's the Slav. You know who you are. Anyways, we got knight to C3. We got knight to F6. So this is all very, very standard stuff. And did I did get the novelty, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did. Okay. So we do see knight to F3. We got the move E6. So now we have gone from the Slav to the Semi-Slav. Ideas are very, very similar. Basically, Black is just saying, hey, bro, I'm going to have this flying V in your face. And I'm just trying to make things as ultra solid as possible. It's definitely one of the best things to play if you are Black. We do see the move E3. We got knight B to D7. We got bishop to D3. And then, even though it's not the end of the world if this doesn't happen, this is a nice strategy that Black players try for when they do see a D4, D5 and a C4 situation, is they try to wait until this bishop is developed and then capture a pawn takes C4 and then bishop takes C4 in. Like I said, it's nothing to write home about, but you have successfully made white waste a tempo. So, I mean, you know, it might be a little something, something. We do see the move B5, and this is just asking the bishop, like, what are you trying to do, son? So we do see bishop going back to D3. We got bishop to D6. We got castles by white. We see castles by Black. We got queen to C2. And some of you guys might be looking at the position and wondering, okay, I remember some of the other games, or like, you know, maybe I played D4 myself. Isn't, you know, E4 like one of the like really legitimate pawn pushes that white is trying to get in so they can expand in the center? Well, yes, but one of the things about the position that we see here, so let's say, for example, instead of queen to C2, we see the move E4. Black is immediately going to shut that down just simply by playing the move E5. And if you do play D4 as white and you get into these positions, this is a very annoying move for you to have to meet. So white is just not going to allow you to just fork their pieces. So, like, they're just being really mean. So what's going on? But anyway, we do see the move queen to C2, like I said. We got bishop to B7. We got the move knight to G5. Cheapos! Let's just checkmate. Like over here on the square. Wesley So says, bro, who you think I am, son? So he plays H6 and he says, back your stuff up. We got knight G to E4. And so, I mean, at least a little bit of white has done is they have improved their knight from the F3 square to the E4 square. Also, this bishop is a little bit lonely. So we asking some serious questions to its safety and security. So the bishop goes back to E7, just avoiding all that. We do see the move A3. We got A5. And, you know, two things that Black is trying to do in this position here. Number one, they're just trying to expand on the queen side. I mean, they have their king castled over on the king side. So they're like, hey, man, let me get a little bit of space on this queen side over here. Also, what they are working to do is this bishop on B7 isn't the happiest piece. So they're like, hey, man, I'm trying to get my bishop free at some point. So generally what you do see is you see a freeing move after you play a C6, which is C5. So we should see that coming up later in the game. But the bishop does go to D2. We do see rook over to C8. We got knight taking F6 with check, knight taking F6. We got knight to E4. You know, white understands that Black is like, hey, man, I'm trying to get this C5 pawn break in. You know, and so, you know, they're really trying to hold down this C5 square. But Wesley So was like, bro, you know what? I don't even care, homie. I see your efforts and I care not. So we do see the move C5 here, asking some serious questions to the white position, even though it doesn't look bad. We got knight taking F6 with check, bishop taking F6. We do see pawn taking C5 with might, which might look like, hey, man, you know, like I'm winning a pawn right here. Like, you know, if you know, Black wants to try to take my bishop, they got to take the pawn on C5 first. but, you know, you absolutely don't have to do that. We actually see bishop taking b2 first. And I mean, you had a lot of different options if you are black, but this is definitely one of the best ones. You know, you are hoping for queen taking b2 like this, and then you can go ahead and capture this bishop right here, and this pawn is a little bit suspect, but we do not see that. After bishop takes b2, we do see rook a to d1, and we are dreaming, if we're white, of somehow making this queen, you know, making this rook give this queen a hug. And that's something that white wants or black doesn't want. Black is like, no, I don't want that, bro. So we do see bishop taking a3, and we have actually reached a point in the game. There is a really cute move. It's definitely a much better position for black. But this is the best move in the position, and it's kind of cute. Like I said, man, if you want to go ahead and pause the video and try to guess what move Nodirbek plays in this position, go ahead and do so. Okay, so I was telling you guys before, like, you know, you would love to create a situation where this rook gives this queen a hug, right? So one of the first ways to try to do that is to try to remove this dark square bishop, because as you guys probably noticed, this bishop actually has a discovered check on h7 if the bishop can move somewhere legit. And so what I'm looking for is bishop to b4, completely throwing the bishop away. Like, I don't even care about this bishop, right? And it is actually in the best interest of black to go into this queen sacrifice that we see Wesley So do. So we throw the bishop away, bishop to b4, bishop takes b4. We see bishop to a7 with check, king goes to h8, only move. And then we do see rook taking d8. And Wesley So was like, bro, so you think you got what it takes, like, to play me without a, you know, with a queen against not a queen? So we do see rook f taking d8, and we're trying to, you know, protect our bishop, you know, save our bishop. So we see bishop to e4. We got rook taking c5, and this is a really nice, you know, in-between move, basically asking this queen, you know, what are you trying to do? Because your only square that you can hold is going to be on b1, and that is where we see Nodirbek reside for the moment. We do see bishop taking e4 and then queen taking e4. And what I want to do with you guys is just take a little bit of stock in the position. Because I think, you know, quite a bit of people, I mean, you know, it's logical to think, hey, man, I got a queen. It doesn't even matter what you got. I got a queen. Well, every situation is different. Generally, yes, it's going to be better to have a queen against somebody that doesn't have a queen. But that isn't always the case. And it is actually not the case in this position. So one of the things that we are as black working to do, because we do not have a queen. So one of the most important things that you need to do if you are playing without a queen against a queen is to make sure that your pieces are completely fully coordinated with each other and they are very, very protected. And so that is what you're going to see Wesley So start to do. And so basically, if you kind of chop it up, this rook is against this bishop and this queen is against these two rooks. So like I said, coordination is the name of the game. But the biggest thing in the position is these two completely outside pass pawns if you are black. If you take those away, this is probably a dead draw or even slightly better for white. But because you have these that white now has to worry about and they only have two pieces to do that with, this is very, very crucial in the position. So we do see bishop going to c3. You know, like I said, the first thing that Wesley So is needing to do is coordinate his pieces, make sure everything's protected. So we see bishop to c3 first. Queen goes to b7, attacking this pawn, this b pawn. We do see a4, basically saying, hey, man, if you slipping, if you move too slowly, I'm going to get my pieces down the board. We do see queen to a7. And this is just trying to, number one, it's hitting this rook. So you're like, hey, bro, you know, what's your rook doing over here? It's also trying to prevent this pawn from moving any further, and the rooks are not yet connected. But what does Wesley So do? Rook c to c8, and now you have your rooks connected, and they are the strongest that they can be. And you are just working next move to get this bishop, well, in the next move or two. You're trying to get this bishop very well protected so that now you have movement of your rooks. So we do see queen going to a6, just trying to pick at what, you know, black has set up. We do see rook to a8, and this is actually kind of important because you are allowing the complete capture of this b pawn. You're basically arguing that this a pawn is strong enough by itself as long as rooks are behind it. The queen takes on b5. We do see the move a3, and I mean, white is in a situation where they really have to act super fast. So we do see queen going to b3. It is attacking the bishop and also attacking this pawn and trying to get in front of the pawn. The bishop drops back to f6. So you see that black has done the coordination thing that I was talking about before. They have both of their rooks connected with each other, supporting each other. The bishop is nice and nestled on f6, and you have a runaway pawn on the a file, and there isn't a whole lot that you're going to be able to do in this position. We do see queen going over to a2, and then we see the final move of the game, rook d to b8. And it is in this position that Nodirbek resigns the game. Now, I explained to you guys like kind of what's going on and what, Wesley is aiming for. And I mean that it's really, really hard for Nodirbek to, really defend this position. But I'll give you a sample, variation just to kind of press that point home so that there isn't any questions as to like, how was this lost? Well, this is one of the major issues that you have if you're black. This bishop is holding this queening square, and so is this rook. And if you really want to be sadistic, you can move this rook back and even double rooks on this a file, and you are really, really forcing the issue. But the first thing for white is you really can't make any moves. Like you're in a zugzwang situation. You really don't want to move any of your pieces because it's going to weaken your position. So let's just say, for example, you go g3. You're trying to hold everything kind of in place. You're absolutely going to be seeing rook going to b2. And this is forcing you to pretty much move back to a1. You can go to queen to c4, but this is allowing the pawn to just roll forward with no resistance. So queen to a1 is going to be more of the human move to make. But look at this situation. You got the move a2. Your queen is completely immobile. Also, this bishop is attacking the square that you are currently on. So this rook literally can go wherever it wants to. So if you're like, hey, man, I'm just desperately trying to hold it, you might see maybe, let's say, rook to d1. You would be looking at rook to b5, and this is attacking your queen. But you are double defending the a1 square. And after the queen moves over to c1, you say, I present to you myself. Here's the queen. And you are going to have to trade these pieces down. They are against this king. And you pretty much are going to get into an endgame where black has a rook and you have nothing. You do not want to get into that situation at all. I know I wouldn't, especially not against Wesley So. Malakas see Wesley So. That is that game. Let me see. I think Lupit is how you say like sit crazy, right? I'm pretty sure, pretty confident. Maraming salamat na king makaibigan. Po sana nunod inga king ma video. Kamusta na? Mabuting pagbati. I appreciate everybody very much for stopping by and watching as always. Rahmat, if you are coming from Uzbekistan. I do have another word. Yashimzus. I think that's how you say it. How are you? Yashimzus. But I appreciate everybody very much, and I will see you guys next time.